You guys may or may not know this, but I'm actually quite a decent-sized Dragon Ball fan. I did go see the recent Broly movie, had a lot of fun with that. I'm all caught up on Dragon Ball Super. I enjoy this world. I enjoy these characters. I grew up with them. So, when I heard that there was a new Dragon Ball game on Switch, I of course wanted to jump on right away. That is where Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission comes into play. Alright, this game is so weird for a lot of reasons, and we're going to get into it here, but before we get into that, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. That helps us out a ton. Also, make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy Dragon Ball. So, with that said, let's get into what Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission is. It is a card game. A Dragon Ball card game, and there's nothing really wrong with that. Right off the bat, that isn't the weird part. To me, the weird part is that it is a Dragon Ball card game that is $60 on Nintendo Switch. Dragon Ball Heroes has been around for a while. This card game has existed, although this one is a little bit different. I don't have a ton of experience with it. I've learned as I've begun to play this one, and I'm still super amateurish, but I'm honestly having some fun here. I don't want to say the game is perfect, and I don't think you should go get it for $60, but we'll jump into that in a moment. First, just to set up what you do, you have a 7-character card pack, and that is what you are going to be doing battle with. There is a story, and that is actually like the coolest part about the game, but we'll get into the story here in a moment. First, let's just continue saying that, hey, 7 characters you get to pick, and there are a few things that you are going to be on the lookout for. You got to make sure you don't run out of stamina. You got to make sure that you are able to get your special abilities, because those do massive extra damage, and it's all a balancing act. You want to have as many fighters out there at once, but you also don't want them all to waste their stamina and then have them get stunned because they take extra damage, and you of course don't want that. If you're like me, obviously you're going to go try to pick your coolest or favorite characters at first. That is not the way to go, because you are going to fail miserably. You want to construct your deck behind strategy. There are 3 card types, and the types that you put together in your deck and how you work with them strategically is going to be a huge part of whether you are successful with this game or not. I'm not going to sit here and go over all the rules of the game. You can, of course, go over them yourselves, and they're honestly super complicated, and they take a while for you to understand. So if you pick up the game, please be ready for that. And I guess before we get into it too much deeper, I should talk about the price. It is a full price Dragon Ball card game. Now, there is a story, there's a bunch of modes. You can create your own deck, you can create your own cards, there's arcade mode, there's story. It's a good sized package. I just find it so difficult to pay $60 for a card game. And, you know, we're going to be honest here, we got a review code. I didn't pay the $60 personally, but I feel like I would have been a little upset if I had paid full price, just because games like this have existed elsewhere for much cheaper or even free with a free-to-play model. Luckily, that's not here. You get to unlock the cards as you go, and everything's been really fair. I've been unlocking cool characters and cool cards as I've progressed. I have zero issue with that as it is. I guess it's just the whole card game aspect. It's a little bit hard for me to get over it, and here's a weird thing. The very first time I played the game, probably started playing around midnight. I said, okay, I just want to see what this is like. I played till 4 a.m. and it wasn't necessarily because I was having an amazing time. It was more because I was just confused by the rules, by the structure of the game. I had like little to no idea what was going on. And then once I started picking up on things, once things started making a little bit more sense to me, I said, okay, like there's some fun here. And I feel like if somebody waits for a discount, don't get it at 60 in my opinion. But if you wait for a little bit of a discount, probably quite a bit of a discount, honestly, I'm way more comfortable with this game at a $30 or $20 price range, then you'll have a really good time. But the game has problems, and you know, most games have problems. This one is just a little bit harder to get over because you're being sold what is traditionally a much cheaper experience for a full $60. But just like we said, one negative thing with the price, I want to talk about one positive thing. And that is that I am honestly enjoying the story. You get to create your own character, not visually, but you get to give him a name. My name is Gabe in the game. And you even have sort of a rival or rival teammate, like another game based off a beloved cartoon that you guys may or may not know about here, and you are recruited by Saiyaman 3 because something is happening. There are all these things going on. Raditz is alive when he's not supposed to be alive in the timeline. There's like mixtures, and it is up to you to try to figure out what's going on and how to stop it. Continuity is tossed out the window, And you guys should be familiar with this if you've seen the Dragon Ball Heroes like cartoon, the little special anime that they, I believe, created for the game specifically, where, you know, you have Super Saiyan 4 Goku hanging out with like real Goku, like, and, you know, Super Saiyan God. It's all there when it's not supposed to be, because continuity isn't that way at all. Dragon Ball GT isn't really supposed to be part of the continuity, but here we have characters from basically everything Dragon Ball ever in one game, and they say continuity be damned. They're throwing like time traveling, they're throwing different universes and people being alive that aren't supposed to be alive. They're very open about it all. It is a fun little story. I will give them that. I am enjoying that. That's honestly the only reason I'm still playing. I'm in chapter 3. I believe there's 5 chapters, but it is a pretty sizable experience, and I'm having a fun time making my way through the story. That is one thing that I can say that I am genuinely enjoying. Dragon Ball Heroes can be a little confusing. It is a deep card game to an extent, and the gameplay itself is one thing that kind of let me down, because the strategy of it all, while still there, isn't the focus. For me, kind of what became the focus is these quick time events. I played the game almost 100% handheld. You can play docked, I confirmed before I started filming the video, but you have these little like mini quick time events, or not even full quick time events, in order to do like special moves. When you trigger like tag team moves and stuff like that, you either have to like swipe the screen like super fast, or you have to just draw a pattern on like your Switch. It's a little weird, and I don't know why it's in there. I guess it's to implement the fact that it's like touchscreen, and you know, you can already play the game touchscreen other places. That makes a whole lot of sense, but I'm just not a fan of how all that came to be. I get bored of doing the same 3 or 4 mini games when I use the same 3 or 4 moves, because those are the moves that work for me. I do find a little tedium in that. The game visually doesn't look the best either, but that's perfectly fine. There are better Dragon Ball looking games on Switch right now. Dragon Ball FighterZ looks better. I would even say Xenoverse 2 looks better. So just, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball and you're curious about this, the only thing that you are going to probably enjoy is the story. The story is really cool, and it doesn't look as good as other Dragon Ball games already on there. But yeah, I mean, you guys should know if you're a big enough fan of Dragon Ball to warrant the $60 purchase. And given that the game is $60, I think that they on purpose made it quite feature complete. It has online features. You can create your own deck. You can even create your own cards by unlocking more of these packs as you go. And unlocking cards is like super fair. You get a ticket basically like every time you win a battle, a bunch of tickets, honestly, and you can just redeem those in a machine and you get a whole bunch of cards at random. You are going to be kind of subjected to the luck of the draw when it comes to that. But I've got some like super cool characters. I have like Broly. There's like some really amazing looking cards that you can even create your own amazing looking cards. So there is part of the fun for sure. And I'm going to be honest, I still don't know if I like Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. If you ask me if it's a good game, my answer to that is probably no. I don't think it's a good game at all. But since I love Dragon Ball so much, and I am kind of into the story a little bit, the gameplay, while repetitive, since it is a card game and I keep using the same decks, does get repetitive for me as well. I'm assuming you're supposed to create new decks an awful lot. I'm sticking with what I know for now. And since I'm still learning, I'm still a complete noob at this, I'm doing my best to maneuver, and it's leading to me having to do a lot of the same stuff over and over. The tutorials are there as well. You can play through those. Again, the game is a little complicated, at least for me. It took me a while to get a grasp on everything. There isn't this like triangle that there is with card games usually, where, you know, A beats B and C beats A, but B beats C. Like that triangle that is usually there, it's not there. It's not like rock, paper, scissors. That's not the type of game it is. You have to be strategic about things. You have to have your units in order. You have to have the correct amount of units for each unit, and you have a pool of health for like all your characters together. It is strange. It is a little complicated, but I'm honestly going to keep playing it because, again, that story is going to keep carrying me forward. I think once I finish with the story, I think I'm going to be done. I don't think I'm going to do online or anything like that. The game probably just isn't for me in that fashion, but there you have it. That is Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. I can't believe that the game is $60. That is super surprising to me. But other than that, there's some fun stuff in there if you're a Dragon Ball fan. If you are not a fan of Dragon Ball, I would probably say stay away, or like wait for a sale if you really are interested in trying it based off trailers and stuff like that. But there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys are amazing. Thank you for watching. Please do me a favor and leave any tips in the comments below. If maybe you were a little bit more of a seasoned Dragon Ball Heroes player, I would love to hear how to get better. Again, I'm super beginner right now, so yes, throw some tips in the comments and maybe I can improve along the way. And again, subscribe if you're not subscribed, like the video, all that good stuff. You guys are great. We'll catch you on the next one. Twitter link is in the description. SwitchForce out.